Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since I put out a video, but I'm gonna blame my wife. She's kept us pretty busy. Sorry we're not out the farm with any cows in the background, but it's about the best we could do. It's the middle of winter here in Kansas, and it's kind of cold. And those of you guys that know me, you know I don't deal with the cold very well. So I'm coming to you from our living room here tonight, and I got a quick message I want to share with you. I don't know how much you've ever thought about your outlook, but if you look in the dictionary, the word outlook means a view from a particular place. And as I've learned to think about my outlook and how I see life and the world around me, how I see God and how I see myself and other people, my circumstances, everything, I feel like it's so important that we learn to develop a godly, positive outlook on everything. And, our outlooks are shaped by so many different things. What we believe, maybe what we've learned from our parents through education, our location, maybe where we grew up can shape that. Just lots of things can shape the way that we see the world and the things around us. And so today I want to give you something that I believe has helped me as I look at life from a place that I never wanted to be. And that something is found kind of in principle in John chapter 9. The disciples are sitting around talking about this man who was born blind. And they were trying to figure out why he was born blind, whether it was his fault. Did he sin somehow before he was born? Which sounds kind of crazy. Did his parents sin? And then the punishment was passed on to the kid that he was born blind. And so they asked Jesus, and Jesus gave them kind of a surprising answer. He said it wasn't anybody's fault. He said this happened in this man's life just so that God's work, God's power could be displayed in this man's life. And when I first read this story, I thought, well, that kind of seems unfair that this man would have to suffer for so long. And it wasn't even his fault or his parents' fault. It just God allowed it to happen. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, we find ourselves in situations where we feel like life isn't fair because, well, life isn't fair. And, sometimes we try to find out whose fault it is that we're in the circumstances that we are, and we can't figure it out. Sometimes we get angry with God too. And so as I was thinking about this story, and what I want you to think about today is that God said the purpose here was that so his power and his handiwork could be displayed in his life. If we learn that and apply that to our own lives in the midst of the circumstances that we find ourselves in, especially when we're somewhere we didn't want to be and we're trying to look at life and look at our problems and look at circumstances and people around us, trying to make sense of it all, we may not be able to really make sense out of everything and understand why everything's happening or when it'll happen. But if we keep that in our mind, knowing that God wants to show his power and can show his power and his work through the circumstances of our lives like this, then I believe it'll change our outlook. We can have a more positive outlook, keep from getting too down and depressed and discouraged, having a self-destructive outlook when we know that there's a possibility that God can work and wants to work throughout the ups and downs of our lives. So I want to leave you with, I guess, this challenge and this thought, and not to worry so much about where you are in life or whether God's going to move you to a new place quickly and out of the one that you're in now, but just to know and understand that God can show his power and his work in your life throughout the midst of your circumstances, wherever you happen to be today. God bless you, and we'll see you down the road somewhere soon.